She slammed on my door so hard it sounded like she was trying to break it down, yelling, "Open up right now. I need your door code." I froze for a moment, wondering if she had lost her mind this early in the morning. Before I could even respond, she shoved a fake HOA notice under the door and barked, "If you don't give me access, I'll fine you for blocking an HOA inspection." I opened the door just a little, keeping the chain locked. She stared at me like she owned the entire neighborhood. "Give me your code," she hissed. "The HOA can enter any home for safety checks." I almost laughed, but her eyes were wild. She really believed her own lies. "There's no rule like that," I said calmly. "And today isn't even an inspection day." She leaned closer, lowering her voice. "I decide the days." For a split second it felt like she was waiting for me to panic, but I didn't move. She thought I was just another quiet neighbor she could intimidate. She didn't know who actually owned this house, and she definitely didn't know the real reason I kept my door locked. When I refused again, she lifted her phone and snapped a picture of me. "Good," she said. "This is proof you're violating HOA rules. Expect a big bill." Her confidence was unsettling, like she already had something planned. Then she said something that stopped me cold. "Don't make me call them. They'll enter the house themselves." Them? Who was she talking about? My stomach tightened. She wasn't bluffing. She had backup, and for the first time, something felt off. I didn't know it yet, but what she planned to bring to my door was much worse than a fake bill. She walked off with a strange smile, the kind people wear when they think they've already won. I watched her march across the street and stop beside a black SUV I'd never seen before. Two men stepped out, big stiff-looking guys in dark jackets with HOA security printed on the back in crooked letters, like they were ironed on the night before. Karen pointed at my house like she was pointing at trash. One of the men cracked his knuckles and said loud enough for me to hear, "We'll handle it." A slow burn rose in my chest. These weren't security. This wasn't an inspection. She was bringing in fake muscle to force her way inside. As the men approached my door, I stepped back, steady and quiet. I wasn't scared. I just needed them to make the first wrong move, because once they did, everything would change. Karen stood behind them with her arms crossed like a queen surveying her soldiers. "Open the door," one of them demanded, pounding hard. "We need access." His voice was deep but shaky, like he wasn't used to pretending to be in charge. "No," I said flatly. "You have no right to enter." Karen snapped instantly. "You're blocking an official inspection. I can add another fine for this." The men exchanged an unsure look. Then the one on the left grabbed the doorknob like he was about to break it. That was the moment I had been waiting for, because right above them, tucked behind the porch light, my small security camera was recording everything: their faces, their fake jackets, and Karen giving them orders. I felt a small smile form, not because I felt safe, but because I knew exactly what evidence like this could do. When the man twisted the knob again, harder this time, Karen shouted, "If he won't open it, go around back. Get inside however you need to." She didn't realize what she had just admitted: trespassing, forced entry, impersonating officials, and she had no idea the whole thing was being uploaded to a server she couldn't touch. My phone buzzed. A message from my wife appeared. "I just saw strangers near the house. Are you okay? Also, did you tell anyone what I really do?" My heartbeat slowed. She was right. Nobody here knew her real job, and once that became part of this, things were going to take a very different turn. Outside, the two fake officers split up like they were planning a raid. One moved toward the backyard while the other stayed at the front door, staring straight into the camera he didn't know was there. Karen didn't hide her excitement. She paced across my porch, muttering, "He thinks he's smart. He'll learn." I stepped away from the door and texted my wife back. No one knows. But Karen brought fake HOA security trying to enter. Her reply came almost instantly. "Don't confront them. Let them cross the line. I'm calling someone." Calling who? Most people thought she trained first responders. Only a few knew the truth: she trained federal teams and worked directly with real law enforcement. If she was calling someone, it definitely wasn't the neighborhood police. A loud bang hit the back door. They were testing it. Karen shouted, "Don't stop. HOA rules allow forced access if a resident refuses cooperation." Her voice cracked like she was trying too hard to sound official. Another bang hit the back door. Good. The more they tried, the worse it would be for them. My phone buzzed again, a voice note from my wife. "Keep your distance. Help is coming." Real help. I didn't have time to wonder what she meant, because Karen pressed her face against my front window and yelled, "I'm adding every fine: door code, refusal, obstruction, non-compliance, you'll pay all of it." She glanced to the side like she was trying to calculate. imaginary charges, that she didn't notice the black sedan rolling into the neighborhood. No lights, no noise, just a calm, steady approach. But I noticed when it stopped right in front of my house. Karen didn't recognize it. She kept shouting fake rules until one of the windows rolled down. A man inside flashed something. I saw it for half a second, but it was enough. That wasn't a regular badge. Karen marched toward the sedan, annoyed and waving her hands. Excuse me. This is an active HOA inspection. You can't park here. The man didn't answer. He stepped out slowly, adjusting the jacket covering his holster. Then another door opened, then another. Karen's face finally changed. For the first time, she looked unsure, and she should have. These weren't neighbors. They weren't HOA, and they definitely weren't here for her. They were here because of my wife. One of them held up his ID long enough for her to see the seal, and the color drained from her face. Ma'am, he said calmly, step away from the house. She tried to speak, but her voice cracked. I am the HOA president. No, he replied. You're a suspect. Before she could move, an officer behind her cuffed her hands. At the same time, two others went to the backyard where her fake security team was still trying to break in. The moment they saw real badges, their act fell apart. They dropped to their knees like kids caught doing something stupid. Karen kept yelling, but it didn't matter. The officers already had the footage from my camera. My wife had sent everything to them before they even arrived. Impersonation, attempted entry, harassment, a whole list of charges she never thought she'd face. As they walked her to the car, she shouted at me, "You can't do this. I run this community." I stepped onto the porch and said, "No, you just acted like you did." She had no comeback. For once she was quiet. My wife arrived a few minutes later, calm as always. The lead officer nodded at her with respect. "We got them. Your info helped a lot." Karen heard that. Her eyes widened. She realized she had picked a fight with the wrong family. When the officers drove away with Karen and her fake team, the street finally felt quiet. My wife looked at me and asked softly, "You okay?" I nodded. "Yeah, I just didn't expect all this over a door code." She smiled slightly. Some people think power comes from noise. It doesn't. In the end, the HOA sent an apology letter. Her position was removed, and every fake fine she wrote disappeared. She didn't come back because she couldn't. I locked my door that night. Not out of fear, but because I finally felt safe. And as I turned off the porch light, one thought stayed with me. She tried to control my house. She ended up losing her freedom. The end.